One real long task blocks the main thread far more than the same real work split into smaller pieces. Let's measure exactly how much. TBT, total blocking time, genuinely sums up every real chunk of JavaScript over 50 milliseconds that blocked the main thread, and while it's blocked, a real click or tap gets no response at all, not even visually. It's a real lab-only estimate for how sluggish a page actually feels to use. Breaking one big real task into smaller chunks is the standard fix. The browser's real spec defines any single unbroken chunk of main thread JavaScript over 50 milliseconds as a genuine long task, and every millisecond past that 50 milliseconds mark counts toward total blocking time, however small it seems. This real function genuinely runs as one single, unbroken 400 milliseconds block on the actual main thread, no pauses, no yielding, just 400 milliseconds where the browser can do absolutely nothing else at all. The real math, 400 milliseconds of work minus the first 50 milliseconds that's always free equals roughly 350 milliseconds of genuine blocking time, and during that whole span, a real click or tap gets no response at all, not even visually. To an actual person, this looks like the page genuinely freezing. They tap a button and nothing happens for over a third of a second, which reads as broken, not just slow, and often makes people tap again. Take the exact same 400 milliseconds of real work and split it into 10 real 40 milliseconds pieces instead of one 400 milliseconds block, same total work, just structured so the browser gets to breathe in between each piece. This real setTimeout with a 0 milliseconds delay doesn't skip time, it genuinely hands control back to the browser's event loop for a moment before running the next real chunk of work. Each real 40 milliseconds chunk sits safely under the 50 milliseconds long task threshold, so none of them count as blocking at all. The exact same amount of real work, now essentially free according to this metric. You don't have to remove real functionality to fix TBT, you genuinely just have to stop doing all of it in one uninterrupted breath on the main thread that never lets the browser respond. Open your site's performance panel, record a real page load, and look for any red flagged block over 50 milliseconds. That's a genuine, specific candidate for this exact same chunking technique to fix. Some real modern browsers now support this API specifically designed to hand control back to the main thread mid-task, genuinely cleaner than a setTimeout hack for the exact same yielding behavior. A heavy real analytics or ad script running its own unbroken JavaScript is just as capable of genuinely blocking your main thread as code you wrote yourself. TBT doesn't distinguish the source. For genuinely heavy computation, parsing a large real dataset, image processing, a web worker runs it on a separate thread, so it never counts against TBT on the main one at all. A single real state update in a large component tree can silently trigger a long re-render. Profiling with the real performance panel is often the only way to actually spot it. Next, CLS, the real metric for content that visibly jumps around.